Hi guys, LECOMTE here and welcome to another FIFA 20 video, and in this video guys, going to be taking a look at the new Team of the Week 9 predictions. It has been quite a while since I've actually done one of these Team of the Week videos. I did originally start doing for the first 2 Team of the Weeks, and then I kind of stopped after that because on a Sunday I was too busy having to play for Champions and stuff like that. But I'm not playing for Champions this week. I don't really want to play it for quite a long time now either, so I'm going to try and bring these back every single Sunday where we'll take a look at all the games across Friday, Saturday and Sunday from all the domestic leagues around the world and put together a 23-man squad. So we're going to start off with Friday's games, where a few games played. Of course, there's usually like one game in like a lot of the major European leagues and like a few in like the Dutch league and stuff like that as well. And one of the main stand-up performers for Friday was between Norwich and Watford. Watford picking up their first win of the season and also away against Norwich, a 2-0 win, and I'm going with DEULOFEU to get the inform. He picked up a goal and an assist in that game as well, and considering it was their first away win of the season against Norwich, who are a team that, of course, you know, they are in the relegation zone now, but they have beaten the likes of Manchester City so far this season. For Watford to go away and get their first win, I didn't really expect them to go and get the win, to be quite honest, and also they did have to play with 10 minutes off like the final 20 minutes of the game as well. But yeah, DEULOFEU with a goal and with an assist. He does have an 80 rated card in FIFA 20, so he will go up to an 83 rated inform. He did also play as a striker as well, so this card would be absolutely awesome to use, like with insane pace and dribbling, and obviously with something like the Deadeye chemistry style, he'd be amazing in shooting and passing as well. So I've definitely gone with a first inform for Gerard DEULOFEU, then I'll go with a second inform for CAPUTO of Saluso. He's already got an 81 rated inform at a left winger. He was able to get 2 goals in their 3-1 win, I believe it was, at home to Bologna on Friday. So obviously, you know, getting 2 of the goals, that's a good win for Saluso obviously at home, and because CAPUTO played a part in 2 of those goals, or I can't remember, it was either 2 goals or a goal or an assist, but because of that he stands. The fact that he got 2 goal contributions at least means that he does stand a pretty good chance of getting into the new Team of the Week, and he did also play as a striker for this match. So again, similar to like that DEULOFEU card, he'd be even better in terms of like, you know, amazing pace, really good shooting as well, which I bumped up quite a bit, you know, physical, passing, dribbling. He'd be pretty expensive, maybe like 50k or something, which actually maybe isn't too bad in value, but yeah, CAPUTO for that inform as well. And that's going to be all of Friday's predictions. Let's get into the games from Saturday. Okay guys, so moving along into Saturday's games, we've got quite a few informs from the games that did take place on the Saturday, starting off with Leicester City's Youri Tielemans. He was able to get himself an assist in their very impressive 2-0 win at home to Arsenal. James Maddison and Vardy did also score. I think Vardy got a goal and an assist, but of course he does have a Player of the Month card at the moment, which means that they won't go and give him an inform at the same time. Maddison's already got an inform as well, and despite scoring a goal, I don't think that's kind of earned him enough to kind of warrant getting a second inform. But Tielemans has been very consistent so far for Leicester this season, and I think for the fact that he did play a part in being able to get the win for Leicester means that, you know, obviously through an assist, and he played a very good game, as did all the Leicester players, means that he's very much in line to get himself an inform, and he would go from an 82 and 83 rated, and would be a very good card to use for quite an affordable price. Then moving along into the second play, we're going to go with the second inform, LECOMTE, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, from Monaco. They were able to get themselves a 1-0 win at home. I can't remember who they were exactly playing, but he was able to keep a clean sheet and also make 3 saves in that match. There was 15 shots. I think it was Dijon who they were playing against at home. They had 15 shots. He made 3 saves, so I think he's within a chance of getting an inform. It's certainly no kind of guarantee, but obviously, you know, Monaco have been, you know, improving obviously since their horrendous last season campaign. They're still not fantastic at the moment, but they're definitely getting better, and obviously, you know, in terms of goalkeeper position, he's done very well. He's already got an inform back in Team of the Week 2, so there has been quite enough space now between to kind of get himself a second inform. It's certainly not like a guarantee, but I thought I'd throw him in there. I think he's within a chance. I think, you know, EA have done more surprising inclusions in previous Team of the Weeks, so I think he definitely is in with a chance of being able to pick up a second inform. The next player I'm going to go with is going to be Thomas Muller. Of course, Bayern Munich did play Borussia Dortmund yesterday, and it's either going to be an inform Muller or an inform Lewandowski. The reason why I've gone with Muller is because potentially Lewandowski might be getting himself another Player of the Month SBC this Friday, so I think based on that he might not get an inform. And also I think Lewandowski only scored 1 goal, or maybe it was 2 goals, but maybe that might not be enough yet for EA to warrant to kind of give him a second inform, which would take him to a 92 rated, I believe. So Maybe EA won't do that, but Thomas Muller was able to come in with 2 assists in that game, which is still a very good return, obviously playing a part in 2 of the 4 goals that were scored. He does already have an 88 rated Ultimate Scream card, though, so obviously this info would only go from an 86 to an 87, which would still be decent, don't get me wrong. I think he'd have some good stats still, but obviously, of course, would be cheaper than his Ultimate Scream card. But yeah, I think it's either going to be him or Lewandowski that gets into Team of the Week. I think it's more likely to be him, and because of the fact that there was such a big game in that basically Bayern Munich battered Dortmund, I think there's a very good chance with Muller getting 2 assists that he will get himself his first inform of FIFA 20. Then moving along into the Serie A, we're going to go with Torino with Bergenauer. Is that how you pronounce it? I think he was able to get 2 goals in their win away. I think 4-0 against I can't remember who they were playing, but he does have a 77 rated base card in FIFA, so he'd go up to an 81. Would have some okay stats, wouldn't be great though for the most part. Like his pace and dribbling might be alright, and like his passing as well, but apart from that, he wouldn't be too fantastic. I believe as well in this match, Belotti also got 2 goals, but I think both of those goals were from the penalty spot, which means it's very unlikely that he would get the inform. I think since Bergenauer scored the 2 goals from outfield play, it means there's a lot more kind of likely chance that he'll pick up an inform, and obviously for the fact they got 2 goals and also to beat their opposition team away is very impressive, and I think it's likely that he will get into Team of the Week. And sticking with the Serie A, I'm going to be going with Radu of Genoa. He will get into Team of the Week, there's no question about that. He's a guarantee. He's a lot more likely than LECOMTE of AS Monaco to get in. He was able to make 7 saves and also keep a clean sheet for Genoa in a 0-0 away performance to Napoli. Napoli been struggling a lot in the Serie A so far this season. They're not doing awful, but they're nowhere near like the level of Juventus at the moment, or of the leaders Inter Milan. But for Genoa to go to Napoli's stadium and pick up a clean sheet, that's a fantastic result for them. And obviously Radu making 7 saves in that game, that's a fantastic return for him. He'd go from a 75 to an 81 rated. Wouldn't be the worst goalkeeper in the world, but also wouldn't be like that usable at the same time. So Romanian as well, so that's pretty nice for any Romanian fans watching this video. But yeah, he will get into Team of the Week, there's absolutely no doubt about it. And it'd be criminal if EA weren't to put him in there, because you know, to get 7 saves in an away performance against Napoli with some of the players that Napoli have got, that's very impressive. So I think it's very likely that he's going to get himself an inform. Moving along into the next player, it is going to be Lionel Messi. I think he will get into this Team of the Week. I think there was a shout for him to get into Team of the Week maybe a few weeks ago, but I think this week he will get in there. A 4-1 home win to, I believe it was Celta Vigo, and Messi scoring 3 of those goals. I think for maybe his 3rd hat-trick of this calendar year. And yeah, I think he will get an inform this time. It goes obviously from 94 to a 95. Would remain at the right wing position because Griezmann played in the central position, but although it was at home, the fact that he got 3 of the 4 goals scored, I think that's enough to kind of give him an inform. And I think that so far there's only been a few other, like there's only maybe been one other player, like another big boy player that's actually performed really well. So obviously EA will want to try and sell packs and stuff. They'll always want to have appealing players in Team of the Week, and so far there's only one other decent shout that I can actually think of on this Saturday as of making this video, and that would be Sergio Ramos, so we'll get into a little bit later on. So I think they're going to have to maybe, if there's no like other big players that come through Sunday, I think it's even more likely we'll see Messi. But yeah, you know, regardless of who we even pretend of Sunday's performances, I think Messi will definitely get into Team of the Week, and it would be a very nice inform to have for Team of the Week 9. Getting into the Liga NOS now, we're going with Pizzi of Benfica. He was able to get himself a goal and an assist in their 4-1 away win, I believe. He does have an 84 rated base card for FIFA 22, will go up to an 86. And his dribbling and passing would be pretty good. Pace, I mean, to be fair, if he was central, which he won't be because he played on the wing, but if this was a central card, he'd be really, really awesome to use. But yeah, I mean, his dribbling and passing is obviously going to be very good, and I think an inform is likely for him. And then moving on to another player here, which is pretty much going to be a guarantee, it's going to be Hennings of Dusseldorf, I believe it is. He scored a hat-trick away to Schalke in the Bundesliga. He does have a 74 rated silver card. He will go up to an 80 rated inform. Wouldn't be that usable at all. I mean, he definitely deserves to get the inform, because to go away to Schalke, who are obviously a good team themselves, and to get a hat-trick and kind of get your team a point, that's a very good result for Dusseldorf. If that's the team that I think that's who they're called. If I'm kind of going off memory there, but yeah, to get 3 goals, likely, well, pretty much a guarantee that he'll get into Team of the Week, especially playing in the Bundesliga and stuff like that as well. He's an inform that can definitely be guaranteed. Then the next player is going to be Sergio Ramos, going back into La Liga. He got a goal and also a clean sheet. I don't know if his goal was from the penalty spot, so it was from open play, but yeah, a 4-0 away win, I think it was. Yeah, 4-0 away win to Eibar. Good result, because obviously Eibar is you know, it's kind of like a Bournemouth in the Premier League. They're like, it's such a small stadium, but actually they've got really passionate fans. It's actually not an easy place to go to because I watch a bit of Spanish football. But Real Madrid, good result for them, 4-0 away. Benzema as well did get 2 goals, but I think both of his goals were from the penalty spot. Also, Valverde's another shot because he did get a goal and an assist. But I've just gone with Ramos because they were able to keep the clean sheet. Very important for Real Madrid, and also getting a goal in the process, just to include another big player in this team of the week. I think he is very likely to be. And then the next player is going to be Ryong. This is a bit of a weird one. I think he plays in the Austrian league. He got 2 goals and an assist in their 3-1 home win. He has a 66 rated card, and as the upgrade systems would go, he'd go to a 75 rated. I think he'd be the first ever informed North Korean player we have ever seen. And I think it'd just be really awesome if EA were to include him in there. They probably won't because of the fact that he's North Korean. I can just see EA being that type of company that the fact that he's North Korean or something like that, they just won't give it to him, or they just completely bypass the league or something stupid like that. But I don't think we've ever had a North Korean inform. I'd love to have one, and that's why I just had to include him, because 2 goals and 1 assist, basically getting a goal contribution in all the goals that this team scored. That's a good return, and I'd love to get him. And if he does get an inform, I'm 100% going to review him. But yeah, that'd be a pretty awesome card to have. Then the final player for Saturday's game is going to be Tarkowski of Burnley. He was able to get himself an assist and a clean sheet in a very impressive 3-0 home win against West Ham. So that's all the informs for Saturday's games. Let's move on into the games from Sunday. Okay guys, so moving along into Sunday's games, Liverpool have just finished against Manchester City, beating them 3-1. There are a couple other games that haven't took place as of yet at the time I'm making this video. That's 2 big matches between Juventus and AC Milan and Real Betis against Sevilla in the Seville derby. But I thought that I either get the video out way too late tonight at like 11 o'clock, which I don't really want to do, so I'd rather get the video out now whilst I've got time to like record the audio for it and stuff like that. So obviously keep an eye for those 2 games, as there might be a good performance from a particular player in one of those 2 matches. But I managed to fill out a decent 23-man squad, and the first player for the Sunday games is going to be HERRMANN of Borussia Mönchengladbach, who returned to the top of the Bundesliga. He was able to get 2 goals in a 3-1 win at home to, I believe it was Werder Bremen. So 2 goals for him. He's got a 77 rated base card. It would be his first inform of FIFA 20, and it would take him to an 81 rated, which would be pretty nice. The second inform I'm going to go for is pretty much a guarantee. It would be a second inform, Nainggolan. I think he had an inform maybe about 3 weeks ago and stuff, which is kind of cutting it a little bit close, but I think because of how well he did, he played a part in all, Carla Guy actually scored 5 goals. He played a part in 4 of those goals, getting 3 assists and also getting 1 goal. He does currently have an 85 rated inform at right winger. He played as a cam in this particular match, so obviously it'd be good to have a central based Nainggolan card to get, to get in like FUT Champ rewards and stuff. So he will go from an 85 to an 86 rated, and he'd be insane. He'd also be very, very expensive, but what a card he would be. He'd be so much fun to get. So I think there's a very, very good chance that we could see him getting his second inform of FIFA 20. They're going to move along into La Liga with Kappa of Atletico Bilbao. He was able to get a goal and an assist, which is very impressive for a fullback in their 2-1 win at home to Espanyol, I believe it was. He does currently have a 78 rated base card, so he'd go up to an 82 rated inform, and he'd be a solid La Liga option for right back. I don't think he'd be necessarily that expensive. I think maybe around about 25,000 coins or something, and he'd be decent. Good pace, good physical, solid defensive stats, pretty decent inform to go for all round. And they're moving back to the Serie A. It's going to be CORREA of Lazio. They were able to win, I believe by 4 goals to 2, and he got 2 of the goals in that game. He does have an 80 rated base card. He would go up to an 83 rated inform, and I think he'd be really good. I think he's a bit of an underrated card in FIFA. Even his 80 card's got some good stats, certainly in pace and dribbling, and obviously going up to an 83 rated inform, those stats would be bumped up really nicely, as well as his shooting as well, which would make him a very, very usable card to think to like stuff like Dybala and stuff. He'd be very, very good to have in this team of the week. And then moving into the Premier League is going to be Anthony Martial of Manchester United. He did get himself 2 assists in their win at home to Brighton. This one's not like a necessarily guaranteed inform. It would be his first inform of FIFA 20. The fact that he was playing as a striker in that game would make him very desirable if he was to get an inform, but maybe EA were kind of looking for him to maybe get goals instead of just assists. Having said that, to play a part in 2 of the goals out of the 3 that were scored for United to get some big points on the board, because they need to start getting wins, and for them to get a big win at home to Brighton today and him providing 2 of the assists, it could potentially warrant him and maybe even deserve him getting himself an inform, and it would take him obviously from 83 83 rated to an 85 rated. Obviously, with the position change of a left winger to a striker, he would be expensive, like 200k minimum, probably even more than that, but what a card he would be. Then going into the Eredivisie, we're going to go with Van der Beek of Ajax. He got 2 goals in their 4-0 win, I believe, in the early kickoff today in the Eredivisie. He does have an 81 rated base card. He would go to an 84. He'd be very solid, like a real cheap man's Ruud Gullit, I suppose. He'd have very solid all-round stats. He could play him pretty much anywhere as a cam centre midfielder or even as a CDM. He'd be a nice inform to have, and I think he's in with like a fairly decent chance of, obviously, you know, because he does play as a central midfielder. The fact that he got 2 goals, that's very, very impressive for that position. So I think he definitely is in with a decent chance of picking up his first inform of FIFA 20. Then going into the Croatian league with Dynamo Zagreb, we're going to go with Orsic. He did get an inform, I believe, in Team of the Week 6, so it would be, I don't know how much of a guarantee this one is, but he did get a hat-trick, which is really impressive, and I think that means that he is in with a potential shot, but maybe is it just too close to his previous inform? Who knows? He does currently have a 79 rated inform that was released into packs, obviously, a few weeks back. This time, if he was to get an inform, it would take him to an 82 rated, obviously a hat-trick away. Very good win for them. He'd be an amazing card. Even his 79 card's already got some really good stats, so bumping him up to an 82 rated overall as the upgrade system works, but then having to increase going from a 79 to an 82 in terms of bumping up like his pace, shooting and dribbling, it would genuinely make him absolutely insane. He'd be a really, really good card to have, just not the easiest to link in with, but what a card he'd be able to use. And then going back into the Premier League, it's going to be Ruben Neves of Wolves. They won in the West Midlands. Is it the West Midlands derby, Wolves against Villa? It's not Birmingham. I think it's West Midlands, because obviously Villa are in Birmingham, and then Wolves are like central West Midlands, basically. So kind of like a small derby there, pretty much. And Neves was able to come up with a goal in that game. I think another shout for that potentially could also be Adama Traore, but I did go with Neves in the end just because he doesn't have any special cards yet. This FIFA Traore has already got a scream card and an inform, so maybe EA wants to try and give like someone else like a special card. And the fact that it was like a kind of derby type of game, I think that Neves is certainly with a chance of obviously being able to pick up an inform, and he'd be a very nice card to have. I'm a big fan of Ruben Neves. I really like the guy, so I think it'd be awesome if we could see his first inform of FIFA 20. Then another card that's one of Europeans' most exciting talents coming up. Haaland once again has gone and got himself another hat-trick. He's been doing absolutely fantastic in the Champions League and also back in the Swiss League. They beat Wolfsburg, the team that is in the Europa League, the same group as Arsenal, I believe. They're in the Europa League. I can't exactly remember what group they're in, but they ended up winning like 4-0 away or something, and Haaland got 3 of the goals. He already has a 79 rated inform, so this would take him all the way up to an 82, and he'd be absolutely quality. He'd have some really, really good stats like pace, shooting, dribbling, physical. He'd be really, really good. Hopefully the EA are going to do rest of the world team of seasons again this year, and he would just be absolutely insane, like a 90 rated Haaland team of the season card. That'd be just fantastic. But yeah, second inform definitely in with a chance of that. And then the final player is going to be Serpe of Parma. They have just beaten Roma by 2-0, which is a very good result, obviously, for Parma. Kind of throwing back the days there to like back to the late 90s when they used to be like a really good team in the Serie A, and they seem to be kind of doing well again this season. And obviously beating a team like Roma in the a team that's in the Europa League and obviously been in the Champions League in previous seasons as well. That's a great result for Parma. He was able to make 9 saves and also keep a clean sheet. So I think there's 3 goalkeepers definitely in with a fairly good shout of being able to get informs this week. And he will go from a 75 rated up to an 81. So that is all the players for this team of the week, guys, that have been able to gather. Obviously, as I did mention before, there is Juventus against AC Milan and the Seville derby yet to be played. So obviously take a look at those 2 games and try and see if there's going to be a good performance in there. There might potentially be an inform from one of those games. Who knows? But I think out of this list, I'd say I think I can get definitely a good score. When I've done this previously for Team of the Week 1 and Team of the Week 2, I got like over half of them correct. So it is obviously not an easy thing to be able to predict, but it is pretty enjoyable, and I want to try and get back into doing these hopefully every single Sunday. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys later.